#1 movie. Plus, the outfit that got one girl kicked out of a homecoming dance has many scratching their heads. And the Browns back on Monday Night Football tonight to play the 49ers. We're going to play a game of Eat This, Not That to tell you how to eat healthy while watching the game. Lunch break starts right now.
Here we go, Brownies, here we go.
It's your lunch break with Jay Crawford.
Happy Monday and welcome to day one of our new show here at WKYC Studios. It's called Lunch Break. I'm Jay Crawford. I'll be joined each Monday through Friday at noon by a rotating cast of WKYC personalities. Thrilled on day one to be joined by Sarah Shookman. Sarah, great to have you along.
It's great to be here. Thank you. I feel very honored to be here for the very first show. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
A little nervous?
A little bit, yeah, because this is my homecoming.
Well, it is. You've been part of our team here behind the scenes, and you've been popping up with me at 6 and places like that over the last few months. But today is a day we've been looking forward to for a long time, and I know you especially. Tell me about how this all came together, this show.
Well, really, we want the show to be about Cleveland, but we want it to be about things that Clevelanders are talking about. So we'll have a variety of topics every day. We'll try to have most of them with a Cleveland spin. Obviously, I'm asked this all the time, will it be a sports show? Because ESPN is my background.
Of course, it's your background.
You know, when sports is relevant, we will talk sports. Like on tonight, it's Monday Night Football.
so we might mention
the Browns a time or two. But basically, we want to be here every day for folks to watch, not just on Channel 3, but also we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook pages, WKYC.com as well. So if you can't get to a TV, the idea here is you can watch us wherever you are at lunch.
You can join us right from your computer if you're at work or whatever. And I love that idea, too, because you're hoping that people are going to weigh in and share their comments and things, and they can become part of the show.
Yeah, we want it to be communal.
Yep.
So by all means, when you're watching, if you agree or disagree with what we're saying, or you just want to weigh in on the conversation, please feel free to do that. Stephanie Haney is our digital anchor. She'll be along shortly to sort of keep us up to date with what's going on online. And with that, we are off and running. And our first topic on today's menu, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker is a runaway hit.
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. People are starting to notice.
Wow.
It makes me a little nervous just watching
It has such
trailer.
a dark vibe to it. And first of all, Joaquin Phoenix is a tremendous actor.
Yeah.
Oscar buzz already. This movie has already set records. Now, it came with a huge warning. It's violent. It's dark. Parents were warned. It's definitely not for kids.
Yep.
And there were threats of violence. But apparently, it didn't dissuade anybody from going because $93 million in domestic sales, and that sets an October debut record.
It had an incredible weekend, and of course, the Oscar buzz I think started last month when it won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival.
Right.
And you know, you've seen the last 2 years the movies that went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture, Shape of Water, and also Roma last year. They won that same award, so you could see that this could be coming. Now, you know our buddy Russ Mitchell, huge movie buff. He always sees a movie the weekend it comes out. He said yes. He said he liked it a lot. He said it's an artsy comic movie. It's intense, smart, uncomfortable at times, he said. And the other thing he was surprised about is it's set in the 70s. And so the social and political similarities kind of mirror what's going on today, which made it really interesting. Little, you know, the background sort of what's going on with the character.
Yeah, again, 93 million in domestic sales. It did $250 million worldwide. I guess really Hollywood loves to do what works and what we want to see. So I would imagine you'd see more of these movies that are a little over the edge violently. So even though as a society we say we've had it with violence, apparently it draws us to the theaters.
It's a new way to do the superhero movie, and you know those make a lot of money.
Yes, they do. Okay, next topic. Here they are, our Cleveland Browns. They're back on Monday Night Football. We go a decade, Sarah, with no Monday Night Football games, and now we're on twice in a month.
I know, it's been crazy. And the Sunday night game and whatever, it's throwing my whole week off because I don't know what day the game is going to be.
Yeah, that's been the case all season because, you know, when you're the Browns and you've had trouble winning games lately, you don't get primetime games. So it's Sunday at 1, Sunday at 1, Sunday at 1. This year, it's been anything but
mixing it up.
Normal. So the Browns are 0-2 at home. They're 2-0 on the road. in San Francisco tonight to play a 3-0 Niners team, a very good club, in prime time. Now, the weird thing is, when you look at these first 5 games, you start the season at home, traditional Sunday 1 o'clock game, and then it goes crazy from there. We will get to our picks before we end this topic. I think I know who we're going with. But first, everybody has a prediction, and here's just a few of what the fans are saying.
Browns by at least a touchdown.
I wish it would be another blowout like 40-18, but probably I'll go give us 13.
The Browns will take down the 49ers.
49-0.
Odell will get some good catches.
Here we go, Brownies!
49-0.
I don't see that happening.
No, I don't either.
I'm going to go out on a limb
either.
there. I know Vegas says the Browns are currently 4.5
Yeah.
point underdogs, 4.5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously they're the away team. That always can be a little bit of a challenge, but
Particularly on Monday night.
I think they're going to come away with it.
I hope
they
so.
They got good momentum right now.
I'm picking the Browns in a close one. I think it'll come right down to the very end. I'm going 28-24 Cleveland.
Okay.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed. After this, it doesn't get easier. We have the Seahawks. They're 4-1. Then we have the Patriots. They're 5-0.
It's really tough, especially for
tough at the
first-year
beginning.
coach and all
But
these.
here's the key. If you can get through these first 7 games, the last 9, only 2 of those teams have winning records currently.
Coast right into the playoffs?
Yeah, I hope. Sarah said it first. Of course, you can watch tonight's Monday Night Football game right here on WKYC 3. Monday Night Football, and Jimmy and the gang get you started with the pregame huddle. That is 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Looking forward to that.
So here's a hard left turn. Next up, no dress, no dance. This was stunning to me when I read about this. So there's a Florida homeschool kind of division that decided they were going to throw a dance for all of the students that are homeschooled, which is nice because
homecoming.
when you're homeschooled, it's very difficult to have the social activities of high school.
Right.
So it was a great idea. The problem here was there was a strict dress code that women, girls, had to wear dresses. One Florida teen decided she didn't want to wear a dress. Her name's Darcy Kruger. Here's a picture of what she wore to the event. Sarah, it seems perfectly fine to me. No, it's not a dress. It's probably actually covering more skin than had she worn a dress.
Yeah, it's not revealing.
The organizers sent her away. They said you have to go home. You can change into a dress and come back, or you can leave. And she left.
I don't like that. You know, jumpsuits are very trendy right now.
Right.
Everybody is wearing them. I wear them to fancy events around town and things like that. I mean, I think that that's what fashion is dictating at the moment. And sometimes school dress codes are a little bit behind on that kind of stuff, you know, which, I mean, I guess understandably. But the issue here is, what is the dress code supposed to do? I mean, and reading it, they didn't want dresses that were too short. You know, they didn't want deep plunging necklines. She didn't have any of those things.
Right.
So the idea that they turned her away, I mean, that is bothersome to me.
Sometimes when they have blanket rules like this, I always wish that just case by case, just use common sense.
Yes.
You can clearly look at this. And by the way, these pictures were professionally taken by a photographer who heard about her plight and said, wait a minute, I'm going to show everybody how tasteful this outfit was.
Yeah.
At the end, just use common sense and let the girl into the dance. She looks perfectly fine.
I agree. I mean, they paid $50 for these tickets to go to this. I mean, that's just not okay.
I hope she at least got her money back.
We'll find out.
If you have a feeling one way or another on that topic, you can weigh in digitally with us. And speaking of that, we're joined now by our digital anchor. Stephanie Haney is part of the lunch break team. Stephanie, what's clicking in Cleveland right now?
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Sarah. This is one of the top stories on our website right now. As you probably know, Ohio State University beat Michigan State on Saturday in college football, but it was the halftime show that got NASA's attention. During the halftime show, the Ohio State University marching band did a tribute to Ohioan Neil Armstrong. NASA retweeted that performance with a great pun, one small step for a band. Gotta love that. And we have a portion of that we want to show you right now. That was a rocket launch complete with exhaust. Pretty fabulous right there, and some pretty awesome orchestrating. And then we move into the lunar module actually landing on the moon. You can see that right now. finish things off, we see Neil Armstrong actually planting the American flag on the moon like he did with Buzz Aldrin 50 years ago. The best darn band in the land also told me that they used fire extinguishers in order to get that up.
I wonder how they created the smoke.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, that makes perfect sense because when I saw it on TV, I said,
That's the trick here.
How in the world did they do that? First of all, Stephanie, thanks. That was terrific. What a great tribute to a famous Ohioan.
Absolutely.
Here's what's most fascinating to me about all of that orchestration. It would be one thing just to choreograph the movement.
Yes.
You almost forget that while they're doing this,
They're playing music from
as
memory.
well as any band can play it.
Yes, they are so regimented. Just to watch them march, I mean, really, the motion of it and how their lines form. I mean, you said you were watching it fast forward a little bit, and then it's that much more impressive because you see all these formations come together. I love watching them, and I think the way the crowd goes crazy when he planted the flag, what a cool moment.
That was the equivalent of spiking the football after you score a touchdown.
Yeah,
Loved
really
it.
neat. You've been to
Really
the
cool.
museum in Wapakoneta, right?
I have, and it's so cool. And if you haven't gone, I encourage you to go. It's part of Ohio history.
It is. It's
pretty
a really cool claim to fame for the Buckeye State.
We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
Next on the menu, meet Jay's family. His mom reveals how she knew he would get into TV.
Hey Jay, what's up? Francisco Lindor. I'm just wishing you good luck in your new show. I wish you nothing but the best.
Hey Jay, it's Terry Francona. Wanted to wish you all the best in your new show and just welcome a Clevelander back to where he should be, right smack in the middle of Cleveland. Best of luck to you, pal.
Very nice.
Amen
Very
to
nice.
that, Tito.
We had Frankie on the show when I was hosting SportsCenter, and of course, Tito is somebody that I got to work closely with when he was at ESPN. His last show at ESPN, he told me right before he left the set, he goes, "I'm flying to Cleveland right now to interview for the Indians job."
So you had a heads up on that.
So I knew, yeah.
And look what's happened in
I
that
know.
time.
It's been a great 7 years.
And we get
keep
both
it up,
of you
Terry.
here in the CLE. We like it.
I love being home, and they're a big part of why I love being here.
Well, Jay, you joined our team a few months ago, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and we've gotten to know you a little bit, off camera.
Right.
And we know how much your family really means to you. So we thought today would be a good opportunity to let your family introduce you to the viewers.
Uh-oh.
Big personality.
There's always a lot of pranks.
He's trapped in a kid's body.
He's so playful.
I feel like he's everybody's favorite.
He's always on the move, always trying to do a project, and has to be first.
I was born in Sandusky. I'm one of 5, and I'm middle of 5.
He was born on the 4th July, so he's my little firecracker.
My father worked at General Motors, was just a really hardworking guy. We were a close family, and it was an idyllic childhood. Sports was always in my life, always, whether I was playing, watching, or reading about sports. I just couldn't get enough.
We bought him a uniform, and he wore it day and night. I couldn't get it off of him.
It was my prized possession. I loved it so much that I would wear it every day.
I had to wait until he was asleep, and then I would grab it and I'd throw it in the washer.
Mysteriously and miraculously, every morning my baseball uniform was completely washed and dried and ready to go for the next day.
Really, in college, I thought he was going to play baseball because that was his love. But he ended up getting a radio sports talk show.
My 4 years at Bowling Green were filled mostly with that, but a lot of great times, and I met my wife there, so it was a pretty good experience for me.
It must have been August of 1986. I pulled up in my roommate Randy's red car, and he was out on the balcony in our apartment.
She took my breath away when I saw her for the very first time. I was like, wow. And then we got to know one another.
We were friends for a few months, and then we just, knew.
I knew really early on.
We got married in December. It was on a Browns playoff game. I do not know why he let us pick that day. Luckily, there was not a big snowstorm, and the Browns won, and everything worked out.
I feel like they have such a great relationship and a really wonderful marriage. That's definitely been a key thing for us to grow up seeing. We've always been pretty close-knit when we actually can all manage all of our schedules and be in the same place at once. It's really nice.
He's the best son ever. From what I see, he's the best father ever. He's very good with his kids.
I always looked up to him.
He was a good dad. He was. Yeah. He still is.
He's still in my corner and in my ear telling me, chase my dream, chase my dream.
He's got the best wife in the world. They got a very close family relationship.
I always watched my parents, and they always prioritized family. Family is first. That's what it's all about. If you don't have a good family life, then I think it's impossible to have a good life anywhere else. I wasn't ready for that.
That is so sweet.
I'll tell you what I most feel right now is the only person missing from that story was my dad. October 17th in 2008, we lost him, long fight with cancer. And before I went off to college, he said, write your goals down on a piece of paper, short term, long term. If they're in front of you, they're more likely to come true because you'll never forget them. And last on my sheet was, one day I wanted to work at a television station in Cleveland, Ohio. And my dad said, I know you will. I know you can do that. And I took a really strange route to get here. But Dad, I made it. And much thanks to you and Mom and all of my brothers and sisters. And I couldn't have done it without all of them. That's why being home to me is so important. Because I made my dad a promise when I went off to Bowling Green that I one day would work at a television station in Cleveland, Ohio. And I made it.
He's really proud today.
I hope so.
As are we all.
Miss you,
giving
Dad.
me chills. We're going to lighten it up, too, because
Okay,
your
good.
family gave us some blooper moments while we were talking to them.
Oh, no.
And you're going to want to see those, too, so we've got those
Are you
plugged in
sure
in
I'm
just
gonna
a
wanna
little
see
bit.
those?
I think so. I think you are.
All right,
The
I'll stay
viewers are
tuned.
definitely going to want to.
Next on the menu.
It's game day. What foods you can indulge in without feeling guilty the next day.
Welcome back to Lunch Break. Game night foods are not healthy. At least that's what we're told.
Yeah.
But you do have some options. If you're trying to watch your calories, and we all are, dietitian Jennifer Beyer with Metro Health is here for our segment. This should be fun. It's eat this, not that. So we're going to present two options, and you're going to tell us the more healthy. Is that right?
That's right.
That's how this is going to work. It's a Monday Night Football, so of course we've got a lot of hype around this. We're going to start with pizza. So first thing here, we have a frozen pizza, and then we have one delivery from a food chain. Which one of these is a better choice, Jennifer?
Well, you can see they're about the same size.
Both pepperoni.
Both pepperoni.
I'm going with the delivery.
You think so?
What do you think?
I'm going to go with the
frozen?
Frozen.
See, I would think there would be
I feel
a lot
there's
of preservatives.
more grease in that. Oh, you're right, though. Yeah, preservatives.
Okay.
But calorie-wise, and actually this particular brand does not have dough preservatives in it, so you don't have that concern that you do with other frozen pizzas. Even though it's thick and crusty, you'll see that if you cut it into 8 pieces, the frozen pizza is actually lower in calories. Per slice, you save about 25 calories.
Look at the fat difference. Calories. That's the big thing I noticed.
That is huge. It's almost twice the fat for the delivery option.
That's correct.
I think they're like, they put the buttery, garlicky stuff on there.
Yeah, to make it taste better. So this one probably tastes better, but this one's better for you.
There we go.
Well, remember, when you're watching the game, you're not paying attention to what you're eating, so choosing things that are a little lower in calories can really help you shape those calories when you're distracted.
Okay. Yeah. So next up we have chips, and you have potato chips or pita chips, and I would definitely say that the pita chips are going to be better for you.
Me too.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge difference really, but anytime that you have something fried, it's going to be higher in fat. So even a baked potato chip would be even lower in calories, but it's not so much good for dipping. So pita chips are a great option if you want to dip it in something and have it a little lower in calories.
Than I thought it would be, though.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference. It's close to 20 calories in an ounce. An ounce is about the size of that little packet that you put in your kid's lunchbox, the individual serving. This, of course, is not an individual serving.
So it's only like a fourth of what most people are eating.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going for size like this. That's not one serving, just so you know. Okay, let's talk about dips, too, because you cannot have chips without dips. You already alluded to them. So we've got buffalo chicken dip, a staple, of course. I actually made this Saturday for the steak game. Not this particular one.
All right.
And also guacamole. So tell us about these.
Well, you can probably guess which one's going to be lower in calories.
You don't even want to guess it. Just going for it.
Because listen, I know the one I love is going to be worse for me.
So now these calories,
isn't it?
I love it.
These calories are for a 2 tablespoon serving. So you can see that you're going to save for each 1 tablespoon dip, you're going to save over 10 calories.
Wow.
So, and of course, guacamole, lots of potassium. It's got a little fiber to it, probably a little healthier than the buffalo chicken dip. Yeah. So if you think maybe 1 scoop of the buffalo dip, but make sure you focus on the guacamole.
The healthy fats in there versus all this saturated fat and
stuff. The last one's iced tea and pop, and I'm going to say iced tea is definitely better.
Well, yeah. So this is unsweetened tea. So unsweetened tea, a 12-ounce portion is going to have 4 calories. Even if you put a whole tablespoon of sugar in, it's only going to have 52 calories. Whereas your typical cola, 12-ounce can, is going to be around 150 calories.
All right. You'd expect that. I use equal to sweeten it up a little bit.
There you go.
And save the calories.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Did you want to ask?
We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
We're out of time, unfortunately, but we're not done with the show. Much more lunch break when we come right back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I'm hungry.
Can we like possibly
Mom,
turn all the
that's
clocks
going to be
off?
a major issue.
Well, we've got cuckoo too, going off every 15. 15.
No, half an hour.
Oh.
I'll stop it.
I'm exactly half my dad's age. I think this was the year. Seriously?
Another clock.
Mom, how many clocks do you guys have?
Too many? The Christian's hilarious. Mom.
Jay, it's been my pleasure to join you
No,
today.
my pleasure to have you.
We'll be back tomorrow, right?
See you then. Yeah, that's very fitting.